A new scam is sweeping the country, including right here in New York. It sounds real at first, and it involves someone impersonating the FBI. Victims handing over hard-earned cash that they converted into gold bars, then giving them to complete strangers.
And of course, it's not real at all, and it isn't targeting, in fact, vulnerable people. We're trying to get to the bottom of who's behind this, in partnership, by the way, with ABC News. Our investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with what he has found.
Nina warned us about this scam a few weeks ago. We investigated to figure out what is going on here. Police say they haven't seen anything like it before. Scammers are impersonating the FBI, sending couriers to homes to pick up gold. And it's working. Those especially at risk, retirees who use the internet.
It was scary.
This widower in Indiana lost $80,000.
So I called the number and was told that my computer had been hacked.
This mother in New York, $700,000.
I just can't understand why people do these things. They don't have a heart.
Victims receive a pop-up message or email on their computers saying their information has been compromised. They then call and speak to someone posing as a tech company representative or federal agent. The scammer will convince them in order to secure their assets, they need to convert their savings into gold bars and hand them over to the government. It sounds a little crazy, doesn't it?
It does sound crazy.
But it's happening.
It's happening all over the country.
Special Agent Chris Del Zotto investigates financial crimes for the FBI.
Like all good frauds, there's a sense of urgency. Your account's compromised right now. You need to move your money right now.
In some cases, they send this letter to victims claiming to be from federal agents. They even use your logo.
Yes.
What's it like seeing this?
Oftentimes, people just take it at face value.
Once they're hooked, the scammers convince victims to transfer their savings into gold. It's valuable and untraceable. It sounds complicated.
It's not that complicated. And then we'll make it super convenient for you. We'll send a courier, a federal courier, to go pick up these gold bars from you.
But they're not federal couriers showing up to the victims' homes. They're part of the scheme.
An inmate at the Nassau County Jail.
We spoke with one of those alleged couriers who's currently in jail in Nassau County. He has pleaded guilty for his involvement in one case and was on probation when he got picked up for another. How did you get recruited into this?
From India, someone just recruited me.
27-year-old Yash Shah says he was hired to deliver packages. He claims he didn't know at first. He was transferring gold and cash from at least 6 victims over the past 2 years.
I'm not as it is like a criminal or anything like that. I'm just a normal person. Like, I'm working hard for the money.
Says he was paid up to $4,000 in cash for each delivery. Most times he was asked to take the packages to street corners in the Diamond District and drop them off with different men. We're trying to get to the bottom of who's behind this. So who were you working for?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was also trying to find.
Police across the country have been targeting couriers to get the victims' money back. But Shaw's attorney says it's more complicated than that.
At the root of this, he's at the base bottom level, and they know that his level of knowledge and his culpability is far less than what they're looking for.
Is he helping police figure out who is really behind this?
He absolutely is.
Local police are working with federal agents, trying to track down the people who hired the couriers.
It's international, and anytime you add an international component to a case, it makes it harder to answer some of those questions.
And at this point, we know that at least some of this activity is tied to India.
Yes.
Says they have agents investigating there as well. What do you have to say to the victims who say they handed over their life savings to you and lost it?
I'm sorry about that, like what happened about, but I'm going to try to find out the guys for myself.
And while this scam is nationwide, so far we've already identified a handful of victims right here in the tri-state area.
You just feel for these victims. But how can you protect yourself from something like this?
Well, the number one thing, and this is immediately what I told all of my family members, is do not click on any link that you didn't request or call any number that you didn't ask for. And number 2 is lock down all your social media accounts. They think they're targeting people who are vulnerable on social media and then finding out your email address and sending that email to your computer.
You know,
Be so
we feel sorry for them. It infuriates me. You think about it, especially older people are going to have problems with this and they lose everything.
Yeah.
We have a much longer version of the story airing tonight at 7 on streaming on ABC News Live Prime.
Good.
Yeah, and you had your piece on GMA this morning. Great stuff. Way to inform our viewers.
Thank you for letting people know about it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.